Well, if you can't fucking beat 'em, you might as well own 'em. Well, it's been a while since I did a video. I took some time, after a couple years of, covering politics and current events and crisis after bullshit, after fucking propaganda, after all of the stupid shit that we just continue to do over and over again. And gas prices are still insane. I was hoping they'd come down. They did come down like 5 cents or some shit, but for the most part we're still fucked. And it is, reflected in prices. So I kind of want to pull out of all of that. I as a truck driver, there's, not a whole lot I can do aside from joining some convoy that we didn't even hear anything about how that turned out. At least I didn't. Apparently it didn't. It just fizzled out. And, I've seen some trucks out on the road that still had their flags tied to the back. But other than that, I don't know that anything changed, really. Other than, the CDC mopping up some of their bullshit that they did. I don't think much has changed. And honestly, I'm getting to the point now where the energy, I don't have the energy to deal with this anymore. This crisis after crisis, all of which manufactured, by the way. We don't have to do any of the dumb shit we're doing, but the elites want to do their elite shit at the expense of the rest of us. And there's nothing I can do to change that except try to navigate and survive and to still meet the goals that I want to meet. My long-term goals are semi-retirement, like jumping in and out of the truck. The company I work for does have casual driving, so at some point in the future, once I've established my, nest egg, I can drop down to casual and just, once a month go out for maybe a week or two, and then take another month off, so on and so forth. So that's kind of what I'm looking at long term. However, I also am aware that our economy is going to go to shit fairly quickly, which, It's fine by me as far as the stock market goes, because that means I can buy all the shit really cheap. So I'm really hoping that comes to pass. Sorry if you got money in the stock market, but I think a crash is coming, and I think they're going to have to at some point. You can't sustain what we've been doing. But another thing that is clear is that there's no end in sight for inflation. It's going to continue to get worse, could even become hyperinflation at some point. So I don't want to keep a big pile of cash, even though that was my previous model, is to pile up cash and then, take my time off. Sorry for the heater noise. It's a little chilly out. Take my time off and, be frugal with that cash and continue. But I've decided to change my strategy a little bit. I've started investing in the stock market. I'm also still doing really well with Bitcoin as far as trading goes and making profits that way. YouTube, I don't know what to do anymore. It's not a viable income strategy to do full time. I've tried for years to make it my full-time income, and barring cutting, slashing and burning to a complete minimalist setup, it's just not sustainable. Susan has not allowed, if it was something I could grow on, but I've been sitting at the same subscriber count for almost 3 years now. 3 years. Ever since they started to shift the algorithm to the corporate fucking sponsored channels and the chosen few. It's very hard for a small YouTuber like myself to grow, and although I do make a little bit of money on ad revenue still, and I've ceased asking for donations because, like I said, I'm making my money in this thing, so take your money and invest it in things that are against, that can hedge you against inflation. And what inspired me to do this is actually one of you left a comment saying that you own oil stocks, so you love Biden. and that got me to thinking, why am I just going against the grain here and just constantly barking and whining about what these politicians are doing when I know what they're doing, and I can either be the victim of that, aka sit there and watch my value of my dollar plummet while Nancy Pelosi stacks more fucking ice cream in her fridge, or I can participate in what they're doing, and so I've bought some oil stocks, I've bought some Microsoft, I'm starting to build a portfolio, and I'm looking and, I'm learning all I can about trading on the stock market. It's not too different than crypto from what I can see, although you're not able to day trade. I guess there's some kind of penalty if you day trade when you have under a certain amount in your account, which I have way under that amount. So, owning a company is probably a better asset than owning the dollar right now. And, even if it's just a little, microscopic hair of said company, and so I'm kind of doing some research, what companies have done good long term, which ones pay dividends that I can reinvest and continue to grow with compounding interest. And so I'm really doing a lot of research to have some of that passive income stream, which I used to want to do by making content. In taking the money that I'm earning in this box and putting it to work so that someday I don't have to be in this box anymore. And this is all assuming that the world doesn't fucking end and the nukes aren't raining down on us. There's a lot of people beating war drums right now, and I just want to fucking go back to normal. I want to go back to normal life, you know? I don't want to be the world police. I want to fix things here. I want to see our economy improve, our lifestyles, instead of tanking under this administration and under our, you know, basically Democrats and Republicans that are establishment are both responsible for this debacle of constantly spending us into debt and oblivion. And now with this conflict that has arisen, it's you know, it's very exhausting to try and immerse myself in it, especially when there's just so much bullshit. You know, if anything I learned over the past 2 years is you can't trust the media. No matter what leaning they are, they're designed for one thing. They're designed to get you wound up, divided, angry, and to take your money. That's pretty much all they're into. You know, this whole thing is they'll weaponize any tragedy, any conflict, any pandemic to try and make money off of you and to control you and manipulate you. And I don't like being manipulated anymore. I know I'm being manipulated. That's the fucked up part. I know when I watch a news story that says one thing or another that's designed to make me angry, you know, so be it. I know that social media, which I'm still on, but I don't spend a lot of time doing that as much. I know that that's all designed to manipulate and to make me upset and make me stressed and paranoid, and I'm tired of it. I'm fucking tired of it, so I'm fucking stopping. All right? What's that mean for the content? Well, I'm going to focus more on lifestyle, living this nomadic truck driver life, improving my personal finances, getting to travel again, vlogging, the whole thing. You know, and YouTube's going to be a casual thing. I'm no longer busting my ass to crank out tons of content in hopes of growing and beating the algorithm, and fuck that. I'm just going to make a video when I fucking feel like it. And I'll do some live streams too, you know, chat with you guys. I don't want to lose my community that I've built over the years. But I'm taking time doing other things other than content creation or researching for content creation. You know, I've become a gamer again because that's a great way to pass the time in this box from you know, for not spending too much money and quite frankly, spending all this time in this box, you gotta have something to do, and I don't want to spend all my time watching videos about how the world sucks, you know, and I found myself doing that a lot, and I'm like, you know what, I just need to do something that doesn't have anything to do with any of that gets me completely out of politics, woke shit, fucking conflict. I don't want nothing to do with it. I don't want to hear about anything about shit in my arm or shit on my face. I don't want to know any of that shit. I just want to live my life, you know, and be happy about it and not worry about the whole fucking world because I can't do anything about any of that. I can't. You know, I guess I'm pulling back into a more stoic philosophy instead of, you know, the nihilism I've been wallowing in for the past couple of years. You know, I just want to live my life and not worry about the things I have no control over. Not put my head in the sand. I got to be aware, you know, and I will check in and, you know, turns out these narratives are beat into people over and over again, so I only have to check in maybe once or twice a week to keep up with what's going on, and I'll probably just listen to the news while I'm driving or something, and that will update me on what to look out for in my personal life because of what I know is coming. And obviously when you're trading in the stock market, you want to keep your ear to the ground on the economy, and the media is there to fuck with you in that respect. You know, they'll tell you to be afraid of shit and sell, or to, oh, this is great, you should buy it, you know, and usually if you do the opposite of that, you're ahead of the game. I've been doing that with Bitcoin the whole time, and lo and behold, I made pretty much all the money I had in Bitcoin was essentially profit. You know, I recently spent that profit because I wanted to upgrade some things, and then I'm starting the cycle all over again, doing an initial Bitcoin investment and working on, and this isn't financial advice. I'm just telling you the stupid shit I'm doing. And if it could go bad, I could be wrong, I could be fucked up, I don't know, but that's my plan, and there's some point you just gotta step back and live your life and turn these fucking assholes off so that they can't, manipulate you anymore. It's really, if you just keep immersing, and I keep saying this, I mean, how many times have I made this kind of video where I'm like, I'm not watching the news no more, fuck these people, fuck them, I don't want to hear their shit anymore, and then, a little while later, I'm like, oh, fuck. But I'm working on it. If there's anything you've learned from my channel, is that I'm constantly working on something to improve, and I don't always get there. Which brings me to alternate day fasting and nutrition. I'm off the rails. I'm down to OMAD. I'm pretty much eating OMAD. But I fell off of ADF. I know. I'll try and get back to it at some point, but I don't know. I don't enjoy cooking in this truck, at least not to the point where I want to do it every day. Every once in a while is fine, but not every day. I do still keep the majority of my foods keto, though I did start drinking milk simply because of the vitamin D thing, because they gave me that prescription level vitamin D shit, and I don't feel comfortable taking it. I'm like, that's a lot, It's got to be a heavy dose if you're only taking 1 pill a week. And I'd rather just soak up some and drink some milk and or whatever else has vitamin D in it in my diet, eggs, I think, I don't know. We'll see. And I'll do the best I can. It's not my first time being deficient, so, and my blood pressure, I just check it. I got my blood pressure cuff. I left it at home. I don't want to do that shit out here. So I'll just see how my blood pressure is when I'm at home. But it's been fine, so I'm passing still. All my physical shit's in order. Everything's good to go. I'm good for a couple of years of trucking, assuming that I don't fuck up and, crash or get any tickets or anything like that. So Operation Semi-Retirement is on task to go, So, but I had a nice little 3-day time off in New York, and now I'm staying out a month. I'm on my way to South Carolina. I'm still in New York right now, getting unloaded. But I'll keep you guys posted on what's going on. I'll probably start doing some of the lifestyle videos, showing you how I, make music, how I entertain myself, how I eat, how I store food, things, tips and tricks on what to do on the road, especially as a trucker. As far as getting around without spending any gas money. That's the other thing that, I kind of have an advantage. I didn't put any fucking thing in my personal vehicle. Even this past home time, I drove it a lot. But I had a full tank, when I got home, and I think it's at a quarter tank now, which is good. I don't want to leave a full tank just sitting there, now you got people drilling holes in fucking fuel tanks. Yeah, that's great. You didn't hear about that? I heard about that. So, yeah, if they do all that work to steal my fuel, well, guess what? You're not going to get much. But it's crazy, the shit that we're putting up with, and I really wish the majority of people would stop putting up with it and get back to normal. But the elites don't want that, so they keep pumping out the propaganda 24/7, using every crisis in the world to manipulate and control you, to get you to do what they want you to do. And right now what they don't want you to do is survive, or I guess, I don't know. When you're fucking with gas prices, you're fucking with the price of everything. There's, I'm seeing news stories about bread lines and shit starting up again, now, yeah, just because there was a long line at a food bank in New York City. I think that's pretty routine. But I did go to the grocery store and I bought a slice of cheesecake at the grocery store, and it was fucking $9. So I know that sucks. Thankfully I don't eat a whole lot of that. But it was only $6.50 for ground beef, so and I bought some ground beef and shit. I only spent $65 altogether for groceries for 3-4 days of eating out here, and, snacks and coffee and all of that. But I don't know. I think I'm in a good position to weather the economic storm, and as long as I can continue to invest, and I'm actually investing the majority of what I earn. I'm keeping a small amount in cash just to do that, but the rest is going to be stocks and Bitcoin. That's what I'm looking at for my portfolio, and some trading strategies along the way. I'm sure I'll lose a little money in the beginning on some of the trades I do, but I'm really buying and holding and accumulating more than anything. I'm not trying to, day trade and make profit or anything like that. If I was going to do that, I'd just keep doing what I do in Bitcoin, And Bitcoin, I'm just swing trading, really, It goes down, I buy more. It goes down, I buy even more. It goes down again, I go buy more. And then it goes up, and then I'll sell. This is very fucking hard. A lot of people spend a lot of time analyzing all the fucking things, but other than if it completely crashes to zero, you're probably, if you follow that strategy, you're going to average out on an upward trend in terms of your profiting. If at some point Bitcoin could go down and stay down, I'm aware, and then, by then I'll have made enough profit that I'll be able to absorb whatever that loss is. And that's the same thing with the stock market. I'm investing in things I think aren't going to go down anytime soon, and that might continue to grow. I bought oil because, the oil stocks were down because of what's going on. And they might, at some point, get subsidized, even though the Democrats aren't going to do that, to drill more. And if they get a subsidy to drill, because right now it's not economically viable for them to drill. That's what a lot of people don't seem to understand about the oil industry, I guess. But I did a little homework on it, and it turns out they're not drilling because they can't afford to, They can't afford to. They're thin margins because they don't get subsidized like other industries do. And you would think, fuel being a core tenet of our economy, the government would subsidize that, but they're not. That being said, there's still some pretty, rich billionaires overseas, and not a whole lot here. So, as far as oil tycoons go, I don't know. I just feel like owning a piece of it so that when it does go up, and since it's an integral part of our economy, it's probably going to go up, especially if we start to ramp up our domestic production and with support. I guess. I don't know. I could be wrong on that. I can already see somebody hate fucking me in the comments because, those evil oil companies are taking all their shit. Well, there's two sides to every story, and I know a corporation, no matter even big evil oil, wants to make money. And right now, they only care about their stocks. They don't care about the price of oil. They care about their stock value. That's all they care about. So I might as well have some of that. So that when the price of oil does go up, that so does my fucking stock price, and I can fucking go out and buy gas. At least that's the principle. It's my chimpanzee understanding of how it all fucking works. So, that's what I'm looking at there. And I'm already outpacing inflation, and I've only been in the stock market for, a month now? And just dabbling. I haven't done serious investing, but it's coming. So yeah, I'm gonna outpace that inflation, And when the dollar does crash into hyperinflation and the whole world goes to shit, it's a cycle. It's happened before. That's the fucked up part. I was listening to an audiobook, and I don't entirely like the audiobooks. I'm not going to promote it. But there were some solid points in there on how this is a repeating cycle that is happened over and over again. And there's 6 stages of it. And the rise and fall of basically the world order, so to speak. And we've been at the top of the world order since the end of World War II. However, we're in stage 5 of the 6 stages of where we're going to crash and reform in some way. Stage 6 isn't pretty. But we've done that same cycle a couple times already when you think of the Civil War and World War II. So this is not new. So looking at it through that large perspective and where we're at, hard times are here. They're not coming, they're already here. You can already see evidence of it. There's already less people driving and shit on the roads, which means there's less people buying shit. People are going to tighten their belts so that they can feed themselves and their families and keep the roof over their heads and keep heat going. These are all the basic necessities that have gone skyrocketed in price. So that means people aren't going to be spending as much money on taking vacations and going to buy random shit. They're going to buy what they need to survive, and that's about it. And they're going to grow tired of that after a while, and things will get worse. That's my opinion, and there's not a fucking thing anyone can do about it at this point. I'm sorry. I mean, you can be as hopeful as you want, but the trajectory is nobody... there are those of us who are dissenting voices. We get shouted down and called names or censored or kicked out of society, whichever it means that they have to deal with us problematic thinkers. And then there are those that swallow all the fucking blue pills all fucking day long. They watch the news and they do exactly what the news wants them to do, and the news is doing what the corporations want you to do, and the politicians, but same thing. Politicians are doing what the corporations want them to do too. So at the end of the day, unless stage 6 happens, which is not going to be fun, and I'm hoping that doesn't happen. I'm not going to get into specifics on what stage 6 is, but it's not fun. It's definitely end times for the West if that happens. But it's probably going to happen. All the signs are there. All the symptoms are there. But there's nothing we can do about it. There's really, there's nothing that's causing people to change their minds. No matter how much reason you speak to them, they're already sweeping all the shit of the last 2 years under the rug as if we're supposed to know it never happened, and we're just supposed to go and pull that ballot box the blue way, Not that the red way is much better, but if I had to pick, it's crazy. And I guess just approach the problems as they come. So right now the problems are the cost of everything's going up, including fuel. So don't spend as much on fuel. That lowers demand. That might lower the price. They're not going to increase supply. They don't want to. They could, but they don't want to. The companies aren't motivated to do it because there's high risk intolerance for drilling in this current environment where everyone's talking shit about, levering higher, like they want to raise taxes on oil companies and then take that money and give it to everyone. So I'm just like, oh, Jesus. What can you do if that's the stupid shit they're coming up with? When it's a real simple problem of, hey, why don't we just incentivize the oil companies to drill more oil, and then we have more oil, and it's an energy independence. We don't have to go to third world dictators anymore for fucking with our Walmart card, going, hey, Can you give us some oil, please? Oh, yeah, we'll let you have nukes. You can fucking blow shit up all day. You do all your corrupt shit, run all kinds of shit across our border. That's fine. Just as long as you keep the oil thing up until we can get this, green energy shit off the ground. So that we don't get booted out of office before that. Change is coming, but I don't know that it's going to be good change. I don't know that we're gonna see any improvement. The elites got their they got their fucking thumb on us right now on the scales of balance, and it's it's not gonna change. No matter how much shit I talk on YouTube, sooner or later they'll shut me the fuck up. They'll shut that shit down, and I could go to places like Rumble and Odyssey and all of that and have maybe 50 to 100 or 200, maybe 300 people hear what I have to say, and you know what? That'll be where that's at. It's not enough people to make change. So I think my activism, political commentary days are numbered. I'm still going to obviously bullshit about stuff on the channel, obviously, but I'm not going to be doing podcasts or anything like that anymore. It's just mainly just, what's on my mind. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn this fucking camera on. I'm going to tell you what's on my mind based on more so my immediate life and situation with the overtones of why things are fucked up, and straight up dealing with gas. I'm not driving. The gas that I'm spending belongs to the company, and it's doing company shit. And in that process, guess what? I can stop off at a town, maybe pay a little extra for an Uber, make sure and tip a little extra so that Uber driver can make a living. But it's rare that I have to do that. A lot of the things I enjoy doing involve walking around in the woods. Maybe I'll get some exercise and hike places too, so there's that when I pull over and get some spare time. But right now, during this time of uncertainty, I think my time is best spent busting my ass in this truck, investing, growing my pile of nuts, so to speak, so that when things do eventually fuck up, that I have all of that in order. Now, all of this could go away. I already know somebody's going to write in the comments, your stock market's going to crash, you're going to lose everything. Well, you only lose it if you sell it. So, lose what? The dollar's going to crash alongside it. So, dollar's crashing right now as far as I'm concerned. And, when you see something dropping 15%, which I believe is about the average cost increase of everything right now, that tells me it's a crash. The dollar is crashing and burning. And if we get drummed out of the world fucking reserve currency, guess what? It's going to crash even more. So I'd rather own Microsoft. Bill Gates seems to be doing all right. I don't know. Maybe some Tesla here and there. I mean, he's sending shit into space. So he's probably going to market that in some way. Maybe if I own some of that, assuming that doesn't all collapse, then after this dip, the cycle will continue and go back up again. But that's the only comfort I have, is to know that this has all happened before and it will happen again. Well, isn't that a quote from Battlestar Galactica or some shit? Yeah, I've had some nerdy times in my life. Sorry, but I have a beard. Makes me look less nerdy. Anyways, I've rambled. As far as nutrition, I don't give a shit right now, honestly. I'm just going to do whatever I want, and if I hit a depression again, which I haven't done, I find that when I'm home in New York, though, I do start feeling down. I can feel it start to come back. But when I'm out here on the road, just kind of doing my thing, it's fairly low stress. There's not a lot of triggers. You might say, well, what about all the traffic? And I'm used to that, I'm used to all of that. It doesn't stress me out. I'm not in a hurry. Oh, I'm going to be late. I just write in the computer. Oh, it's going to be late. Sorry. It's really not rough out here at all, especially with less people driving because of the gas prices. Like, I haven't had a traffic backup since Biden got in office, it feels like. It's not accurate. There's been 2 or 3, but not nearly what used to be. Not nearly when we had a strong, bustling economy. There was a backup in every city. Now I'm going through, I went through 3 major cities on my way home with no backups. And that was on a weekday on one of the days. So, Chicago. I made it through Chicago twice without, I did slow down to 50 at one point. But that's not what I was used to in Chicago. Back in the day, Chicago usually meant you were going to sit there and move a little and then stop. And move a little and stop. Clearly, gas prices have less people driving right now. And that's noticeable. Which isn't good for the economy. It means all them stocks are going to be on sale. I'm just waiting for the blue light special on Tesla and fucking Microsoft. All these rich fucking billionaire that have put all kinds of ice cream in Nancy Pelosi's freezer. I want some ice cream in my freezer, okay, Nancy? You did a good job of being a corrupt fucking asshole along with all the other congressmen and women. Guess what? I want to do it too. You've left me no choice. Either I can sit here and you can keep sucking the wealth out of me, or I can come out and get a piece of it. That's my principle. But what the fuck do I know? Because I'm not an expert. I'm just an asshole. Just a normal fucking trucker. I tried a bunch of shit. I got healthy. I got unhealthy. Lost weight. Kept most of it off. Became a minimalist. Been single for I don't know how fucking long now. But I'm enjoying my life. And I'm not going to let these motherfuckers fuck it up anymore. We'll see how it goes. I might be making a video tomorrow saying, fucking bullshit, fucking Cuomo's coming back. He is too, by the way. There's fucking ads for Cuomo. He's going to run again. How can he even run again? If I get fired from a job, which essentially is what happened to him, they don't just rehire you, to do the same fucking job. I'm sorry, but you can go be an analyst on CNN, motherfucker. Stay the fuck out of fucking New York State. At least until I can get my fucking residency changed over, which is still on my shit to-do list. Alright. Fucking Cuomo. That ad makes me sick, and it's been on multiple videos that I've watched. Have a nice motherfucking day. And shit. I think we're gonna be alright. I think we'll make it through all of this. Be broke. That's alright. We can all live in our vehicle. Plenty of parking in California. Yeah, I've seen it, And if you can't keep a vehicle maintained, well, you can just get you a tent. Yeah, they're taking good care of it. I think Newsom's planning on rounding some people up, so there'll be vacancies really soon. They're just going to snag people off the street and put them in rehabilitation programs. Sounds like America.